New York, the NBA draft, once dedicated to the general proposition that the last shall be first and the first shall be last, had its lottery system tweaked Thursday in a vote of the league's Board of Governors. In an attempt to discourage, if not outright thwart the strategy of tanking pursued by teams in recent seasons to win better lottery odds by losing regular season games, the new proposition might be summed up thusly: the worst could wind up fifth, and the league's 18th best has a greater chance of ending up first. Under a new weighting system approved by the owners to take effect in 2019, the teams with the three worst records each will have a 14% chance of landing the number 1 pick. Currently, there is an advantage to being the league's most inept, or clever, bottom feeder, a 25% shot at that top pick. The odds for teams with the second and third worst finishers have been 19.9% and 15.6% respectively. There was a perception in many of our communities that the best path to rebuilding their teams was to race to the bottom, NBA Commissioner Adam Silver said. It became currency in this league. So much so, Silver said, that even some teams that didn't want to embrace the bad leads to good strategy felt pressure from fans to go that route. To trade away otherwise very serviceable players and embark on a strategy that requires them to, in essence, field poor teams, he said. I felt it was corrosive to this league. The perception that certain teams weren't committed to winning during the 82-game regular season devalued individual games and gave fans little to root from October through April other than some ping-pong balls in May. The Philadelphia 76ers are the most glaring recent example. They made no pretense of trying to win or climb from horrible to mediocre. Instead, Sixers management devoted itself to what it termed the process, posting a 47-199 record from 2014 to 2016, while positioning itself to draft top prospects Joel Embiid, number 3 overall, Jahlil Okafor, number 3, and Ben Simmons, number 1. Despite Philadelphia's status as one of the league's legacy franchises, it also ranked 29th, 30th and 28th in home attendance in those seasons. So, starting in 2018-19, the reward for losing in mass quantities will be lessened and slid a bit to the left. Having the third worst record will reap maximum lottery chances. Also in the new format, the top 4 slots will be determined by the lottery rather than the current system of 3. That means, depending on how the balls bounce, the team with the worst record could drop to 5th in draft order. The 4th worst team could select as late as number 8. The odds for the nose 5 to 13 teams to improve their draft positions went up slightly in the new lottery. Their odds will be scaled from 10.5% to 1.0. Currently, those teams had odds ranging from 8.8% down to 0.6. The odds for the best of the bad, that is, the lottery team that just missed snagging the final playoff spot, are unchanged. The team still will have only a 0.5% chance of vaulting up to number 1. But that means reaching the postseason, with playoff paid days for the players and home teams, hasn't been de-incentivized. The changes will begin with the 2019 draft, allowing teams that are in the rebuilding process, think Chicago Bulls, to react and recalibrate. The vote, as reported by ESPN.com, was 28-1-1, with the Oklahoma City Thunder voting against the new format, not rewarding small market teams after especially difficult season, frequently triggered by the departure or threat of departure of a star via free agency, was one reason a team such as the Thunder might disapprove of the change in odds. Other NBA cities not considered to be destination markets for free agents, such as Detroit, Milwaukee, Indiana and a few others, could wind up in lose-lose situations. If their stars leave, the record organically plummets and the next crop of young talents gets diverted away because of 14% odds versus 25%. What we did was a compromise, Silver said. What we've put in place is far from perfect.